Dunk.
Hey guys, gals and non-binary pals, Fail here with another memes build video. Now, this one doesn't work as well as it used to because of the changes to Triangle's set. So we can't get enough pieces on to get Fire Mastery because Fire Mastery's been removed. It still works and it's still fun. It's just a lot slower of a mapper than it used to be. I mean, I still love it because I don't mind chilling in a map for 20-30 minutes, you know, talking to my chat on Twitch, picking up items and IDing them. You know, I don't care about blasting through a 5-minute, 10-minute map or whatever. So if you don't care about that, you'll have some fun with this one. So let's get into the gear. Let's start off with the important part, shall we? A 40 to Corpse Explosion Corpse Morn. Because that's what you are. Corpse Explosion Paladin. So, well, now this one didn't have a particularly brilliant slam. I mean, I do like having a lot of fast hit recovery because you are up close and personal with this. And then the rest of your gear is maximizing all skills and fire, if you want to go that way, to get as much damage as possible. So I went with Heart of the Oak for the cast rate, skills. The Oak Sage, you know, pops on and off when I switch, because as usual I've got Spell Steal on switch for Amp and Teleport. Again, every time you switch it disappears, so if you're going to be walking around doing a boss, things like that, you can pop on an Oak Sage for like 70-80 life, whatever it is. It's not a lot, so to be honest, I don't really tend to bother with it, and obviously the Ravens just don't work. So, but yeah, it's a great bit of kit because you get, you know, replenish life, you know, max mana because Corpse Explosions are mana hungry, and resistances. Mine rolled low, but it didn't matter. You know, this build has resistances, it's okay. And if it, you know, when you're teleporting, I like to have Salvation on left and then teleport on right. I have Amp hotkeys. So yeah, Heart of the Oak for skills, +3. Steel Shade, same reason, +2 all skills. I have a Shale in there for fast hit recovery, breakpoint, blocking. Mana Leech is no good because it's you don't hit. We do smite, but we'll get onto that. Massive replenish life is great because you're standing around as a caster. And my one slam for Cannot Be Frozen, which means I didn't need a Raven Frost. So, all Gucci stuff there. Mara's, again, skills, because Corpse Explosion is not yours. So, again, you need all skills. You could have a Rising Sun here to maximize the fire. Just to go back to weapon a second, a good weapon to have is Ghost Flame. 25 to fire skill damage, mine is. Increase attack speed slam so that you swing faster. I just released a clip about this a couple of days ago where the differences are you get more fire damage from this, less physical from the Corpse Explosion side of things, and then the Smite side of things you swing quicker, but this has actually more physical damage for Smite because of the plus skills, which is wild. So if you're going down the fire route, Ghost Flame. If you're going down a more balanced route like I did, something with skills like Heart of the Oak. But anyway, back to it. So, yep. This slam with strength, just to help get the gear on. It is what it is. Herald of Zakarum, you are smiting to get that first corpse down if your mercenary doesn't. So the +2 to combat skills would be better, of course, because it helps your Holy Shield too. I wasn't particularly bothered, because when I first started this shenanigan, I wanted to try and get just pure Corpse Explosion. I have built it before. It just, like I said, it just doesn't work as well anymore. So I am given to smiting on this build. But yeah, you get all the good stuff. Strength, Vitality, all res. Huge blocking. As you can see, mine slam for even more block. So I have a crazy block rate. When you sort of combine the 20 from here and the 70 from the shield, that's the 86 breakpoint. So the Paladin blocks super fast. So you can stand in a group of enemies with your huge defense and your huge blocking and not care. So you're a toe-to-toe caster, essentially. I went with Tear Haunch because it saves points. Once again, points are tight. Well, not really. But you don't have to put a point in Vigor. It's fine. Unless you are going down the Redemption route, but we'll get to skills in a minute. So again, Strength, Dex, All Res. You know, faster run walk could be nicer. Because you have Cleansing on a Paladin, a Reduced Curse Duration slam isn't brilliant. Because you put Cleansing on, your curse runs out slightly quicker than the Mercs from the 20 Reduced Curse Duration. I would have a faster run walk slam on this, for sure. Skill rings would be better, but I needed a bit of cast rate. Again, a cast rate skill ring if you're rich. But I went with this because it just had huge dex, which is good for blocking. A little bit of rares here and there. Arachnids for a +1 skill, just really for that. Cast rate, of course, is great. Mine got fast hit recovery slam, so lovely. Increased max mana is always nice. Mine only rolled 5, because again, mana hungry skill, Corpse Explosion. Yeah. And another cast rate ring. A bit of life, bit of mana, rares, it's all good. And then lastly, Mage Fist, because Corpse Explosion is a fire skill, as I say, it's half fire, half physical, so this helps the fire portion of it. So yeah, that's my gear. Here I have bow stick, but with 3 to Holy Shield. So I slap that on, you know, to buff up with. And as usual, as I showed you earlier, Spell Steal on Switch. I always have Spell Steal, I bloody love it. Right, so that's the gear. Charms, you want as many of these as possible. Loads of fire skill damage. As you can see, I've got a couple of blank boys. I don't have this maxed. I just ran out of them because I had them on another character that died. So I lost all the fire skill charms. But yeah, Torch and Annie, as usual. Get a slam, Danny. Don't be a poor piece of like me. I had got some lifers in there. I was lacking some fire rares. Some fast hit recovery again to make that breakpoint. And got some combat skillers to help with the Holy Shield and the smiting, and some offensive auras to help with your conviction. And speaking of conviction, let's get into skills. So, we start off in the defensive tree. So I have 1 point in salvation for when I'm teleporting. So I've got it there so I don't die to souls, which is bad. Vigor comes from my boots, as you can see. And then I max Defiance because it raises the defense of your Holy Shield and makes you an absolute tank. And I have 3 points in each of these. This one is 22 because of the Mage Fist. To raise my maximum reses there by the 3%. And Cleansing, of course, you can't go wrong with Cleansing. Poison and Curse reduction is fantastic. I always slap that on in, you know, public bail runs and in maps if I'm feeling squishy. It's a great skill. The offensive auras tree, max conviction. Mine is level 35, and yeah, minus 80% resistances. Really helps when you're blowing up them corpses. In fact, the only thing that you can do these days. Again, if it's a sticky particular boss pack, I'll slap amp on it, and then just try and chain as best as possible. The conviction, you know, does the fire side, the amp does the physical, of course. Combat tree, with max Holy Shield for the crazy blocking, and the smite damage, and the crazy defense. 1 point Joust to get your mercenary position, get you moving around, and we're lastly maxing smite. You don't really smite so much, but we'll get on to that. Right, so that is the skill tree. Mercenary. Mercenary is built to tank because he will be standing around trying to generate corpses for you. So he's using Viper Fork for the Desecrate on striking. Sadly, it doesn't pop out as much as I'd like. 9% isn't a lot, but because he jabs as his skill, it's like, you know, it really does chunk out some corpses. Enough, you know, it's 12%, you know, would be great. 15% would be fantastic, but I think that'd be too much, to be honest. But yeah, so corpses are flowing at him, and you're just stood behind him blowing them up. You can stand toe-to-toe because your defense is crazy. I'll show you that in Breakpoints. Vamp Gaze, with some ums for resist, so he has massive physical and magic damage reduction. G-Bane, with a bunch of shales, he has huge faster hit recovery. That's where all of his faster hit recovery comes from, to be honest. String of Ears for, again, physical reduction and magic reduction. Bit of life leech, job's good. War Traps for some added damage, basically. Strength is good, of course. Vitality sadly doesn't apply. Bit of Magic Find. These ones are perfect. Woohoo. And then lastly, Soul Drainers to help bring down boss's defenses. And so that he can guarantee his hits so that he kicks off his Desecrates so I can blow up corpses. While we're doing the Mercenary, I'll just quickly show you his stats. So he has 42% physical damage reduction, 32 flat, and a whopping 50 flat MDR because of G-Bane, Vamp Gaze, and String. So he is an absolute tank. He really is. 19 life leech. He loves life. He's great. He does go down very occasionally to like super scary stuff, but he does hold his ground very well. So my breakpoints are an absolutely pathetic 7 flat and 0 damage reduction. Of course, when we step out of town, I get his damage reduction from his Defiance aura, which is great. Anyway, I have 75 fast cast rate. I think shooting for 125, it's not really necessary. Again, you can only blow up the corpses as fast as they come out, and because you're not regenerating them, I mean, you can generate them by having Venom on switch. I mean, again, I like the mobility. I like to teleport to reposition the Merc as well as jousting. So it's up to you guys. I mean, you could just have Call to Arms on switch and, you know, buff. I recommend it with this build because you need the amp against certain things if you want to get things down a lot faster. But I digress. So 86% faster hit recovery. Again, you block super fast with this build. You 75 block, and also if that fails you, you've got 86 faster hit recovery and a huge defense. Like I said, absolutely huge. You have I've only got 2 mana per kill and 14 mana leech. Again, I'm not hitting a lot. Again, let's do some, let's say, a little quick bit of gameplay. I'll show you what I mean. So we'll pop into the Frigid Highlands, slap on the buff stick, and then we buff this guy, and we buff our Holy Shield ourselves, and then we look at the stats again quickly. So I've got 20k defense, which is insane. Like I said, you can stand toe to toe. Tiny bit of smite damage. Obviously, I'm only level 88. That will go up and up and up. Huge vitality. Because you know, max blocking with Herald of Zakarum and the Steel Shade is insane. You know, it's so good. The strength is so big because of this. You know, but when I teleport, you know, I don't like to lose anything. So, you know, I put in enough. Maybe a little too much. Who knows? I could probably put some more in energy. It is what it is. But yeah, so like I said, 20k defense. We've got 2,000 odd life, and then, you know, a little bit of overcapping on res. It's not terrible. So, when it comes to maps, a tier 1 map will take you about 20 minutes. And I'm talking, I pick up everything, an idea, I'm talking to my chat, you know. I tested it all this week. Well, technically last week by the time these videos come out, because I'm always a week, you know, behind on them. So a tier 1 map is 20 minutes, a tier 2 map was 30 minutes, and a tier 3 map was 38 to 40 minutes, because I did a couple of them. Right, so we got the teleport. And then we go in, the Mercenary kicks up some corpses, I start exploding. You know, I know this is only vanilla stuff here. So we walk along till we find a pack. Another thing you can do is, you know, just get charge out, move along quicker. Or you can hotkey up your, you know, get the speedy boys. But I don't tend to bother, I just, you know, walk along, la-li-la-li-la. Oh look, a pack, and then we joust into it. We can smite like that, stun things, explode. It's great fun. Like I said, definitely make sure when you're doing maps, you do a map that has low fire and low physical resistances to make it easy for yourself. I did River of Blood for tier 2, Sanatorium for tier 3, and I can't remember what I did for tier 1, sorry. It's a bad video maker. But anyway, give it a try. Let me know what you think. Like I said, you can go more fire related. You could have Flickering Flame, you could have Mars? I'm using Mars. Rising Sun, Ghost Flame, go all out on the fire, and then try and bring things down as much as possible. I mean, you could, instead of, you know, Viper Fork, you know, Mercenary could have an Infinity, and you could just have Venom on switch to just cast Desecrate, or you could even, and I don't recommend this because it's super slow, you could get away with an Act 1 Mercenary, but I find they're a bit squishy, because this has a higher percentage chance. And you could use an Act 1 physical Mercenary with the pew-pew-pews in the form of strafe. But it doesn't, because they move around a lot to try and avoid getting hit. It's easier for him because he doesn't move around a lot. He just goes in there and starts tanking. So you want the corpses popping out as quick as possible. And like I said, I think he's better for that. But anyway, I'll wrap this up now. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's not a powerhouse. I've been doing public maps with it, and you know, people start the ball rolling, and then I finish things off with the huge radius the corpse explosion has. You know, I mean, it's only at level 53. It's only 653 physical and 848 fire. But it does rack up because you can just constantly cast. It's great fun. Check out my clips if you're interested in seeing certain viscera everywhere. But yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.